Hello everyone, it's Tabby Biddle, tabbybiddle.com. Hanging out in the park today. I'm probably going to have my hair in my face for most of the time, but hopefully you can listen into my voice here. Today I want to talk to you about the goddess. The goddess. Who is she? What is she? Why am I so drawn to her? What is it about her? Why is she a part of my work? Okay, so I'll dive right in here. I want to share with you that back in 2008, I moved from New York to Los Angeles, Santa Monica specifically. And I had made that move because I felt very drawn and called out here. I had been feeling like I wanted to leave the more linear lifestyle of New York and move to a more softer, feminine place. Now, it turned out that Santa Monica felt that that was the place that was calling me. And so I moved out here, and soon after I moved out here, I experienced so much more emotion than I had felt in years. It was like emotional floodgates had opened, and I couldn't figure out what in the world was going on. It felt so out of control for me, and it wasn't really tied to anything specific. It was just that in general my whole kind of essence felt way more emotional. And as time went on, or in retrospect I should say, I realized it was the kind of working up toward my feminine awakening, but at that time I didn't have that identified. So I'll just fast forward a bit. About close to a year, maybe 10 months into living here, I had left my job. I decided not to go back to my teaching job for the following year because I felt like I was being called toward something bigger. And obviously you see a theme here. I very much follow callings and intuition and have my entire life. So I left my teaching job. I'd finished up the school year, and I thought that my next step might have to do with music. I was playing children's songs, and I had done a couple birthday parties playing children's music and so forth. And I also had been doing some cabaret and folk songs, and I just didn't know that for sure, but it felt like something clearly with my voice was meant to happen next. And I guess I'll just cut to the short of it, that soon enough I had an awakening to the goddess. And what that means is that I literally felt tapped on the shoulder by her and told that I was meant to take her or bring her out of the yoga studios and the ashrams and into the mainstream. Now, I had been familiar with the goddess before as a yoga teacher. I had been a yoga teacher over 10 years and had been a practitioner for about 15 years. And so I was familiar with the goddess, of course, but I had never really understood her, and I certainly had never felt really embodied by her, or that I was her. That just hadn't been a part of my existence or my presence or my awareness. And at this time, when I had this awakening, it was so clear that I was developing this direct connection, or had developed this direct connection to her, and I felt her in my body, I felt her outside of my body, I felt in direct relationship with her. And from that moment on, it's been that way. And all of my guidance and intuitive knowings really root back to the goddess. I believe very strongly that we are meant to remember her, and that it is my job, as I have been called, as we all have our own callings, to help us remember her and to help us bring her into mainstream media, into mainstream leadership platforms, into mainstream political conversations. That really the memory of the goddess, you gotta understand here, the goddess was the primordial leader. She was the political leader, spiritual leader, economic leader for 25,000 years before the onset of male religion and culture. Okay, the onset of male religion and culture started around 4500 BC, and then it was like kind of about a 2,000 year process for patriarchal religion to really be kind of set in stone and be kind of the master religion or religions. And the goddess religion was pushed further and further